Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under with my top 5 Fortnite Battle Royale tips and tricks. When I first started playing, one of the most annoying things was accidentally swapping out my weapons while looting. All I wanted to go and do was pick up the ammo and the medkits, however I was swapping my rare assault rifle for a pistol. To make sure you don't swap out any of your weapons, make sure to go and pull out your pickaxe. Go over to the enemy's body and start spamming that grab button while also jumping so it'll be harder for enemies to hit you. In the settings, there is a ton of things you can go and change. There's the obvious stuff like post-processing where you want to go and turn that down in order to go and maximize your FPS. However, there's one option that a lot of people have absolutely no idea about, and that is the disable grass option. In Fortnite Battle Royale, finding enemies isn't too difficult, but you definitely want to go and make it as easy as possible for yourself. By disabling the grass option, enemies will pop out even more, as there's nothing for them to blend into. You simply have the green floor, and then you have the enemy. There's nothing they can go and blend into to try to give them a little bit of camouflage. They're just going to be out there in the open. It's going to be a really easy time for you to get the shot down. And of course, another big benefit is, if there's no grass, your computer doesn't have to go and render it. So that means your FPS will increase. So if you have a bad computer, I definitely suggest turning it off. And if you have any computer at all, you're just playing a game, I definitely suggest turning that option off as well. When you first install Fortnite Battle Royale, your resolution setting is set to borderless full screen. Borderless full screen is great for some people, as you can quickly alt-tab and change what music you're listening to, have a look at Facebook chat and so on. However, the big problem is that this will significantly decrease your FPS, as it keeps everything else rendered in the background. A really easy way to maximize your FPS is to simply change that setting to full screen. This will ensure that your CPU and graphics card are dedicating as much of their power to the game as possible, which results in your in-game experience being even better. Now, of course, you won't be able to go and quickly alt-tab to go and check Facebook or Discord chat, but with that said, you want the highest FPS possible because you want to go and win some games, and this is the way to go and do it. In Fortnite, what a lot of people do is just simply spam build walls if they want to go and make a little bit of a fort, forgetting about how many resources they actually have. If you're at endgame or you have a ton of resources to go and blow, right click to go and cycle through the wall qualities. The more expensive ones require, of course, more rare materials, but the trade-off is they have so much more HP. When you're in an intense 1v1, of course you're going to be putting up the cheapest one, but if you're making a really big fort, make sure to go and hunker down by going and putting up the best walls possible by using that resources that you've gone and got. When you first install Fortnite Battle Royale, make sure to go and change the keybinds in the settings. In my opinion, they are really bad, the default ones, and it makes it really difficult to pull out what you need when you need it. The most important one, in my opinion, is the inventory button. Normally it's on I, which is super difficult to go and press when you normally have your left hand on the left hand side of the keyboard. Now personally, I rebinded this to C, which is a really nice and easy button to go and press. You're not going to go and misclick it anytime soon, because most of the time your thumb is on that spacebar because you want to be spamming that jump button as much as possible. Now the reason why the inventory button is so important is because a lot of the time you need to go and swap the positions of your weapons, especially in the early game, as generally people have their two main weapons as the second and third spot respectively. When you're going and just spam picking up weapons and whatnot, you might have a med kit on your second slot, you might go and have bandages, so what you want to go and do is press that inventory button and then just quickly go and drag it around when you have a few seconds to go and spare. Those few seconds turn out to be a lot more if you have to go and lift your hand from the keyboard, press that I button, and then go and put it back, and then go and swap it. It's so much of a mess. Go and rebind it, and it'll make your life a lot easier. Something that I think everybody will benefit from is a dedicated button to go and build walls, and a dedicated button to go and build ramps. In Fortnite Battle Royale, you really only build two things, that being walls and ramps. You don't really build anything else besides traps and that as well. Now, I have the wall function on Q. So when I press that, I just quickly need to go and press the left mouse button in order to go and build a wall. Instead of going and pressing F1, instead of going and pressing all those buttons that are really out of the way to go and swap, I just press Q and boom, and there's a wall. I've done basically the same thing with the ramp, but I've gone and put it on V. So when you go and press V, boom, a ramp goes and pops up. You just press the left mouse button, and it's really, really easy. I don't do use the rest of them. I've got them on the F keys if I really want to go and use it, F2, F3, F4, F5, whatever. But most of the time, I'm only using those two. I want those to be the dedicated ones. At this moment in time, I've kept the rest of the keybinds the same, but I might experiment a little bit in order to go and optimize it for combat. Now with all of that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Fortnite tips and tricks video. If you guys want more Fortnite Battle Royale type of content, make sure to go and like the video and drop a comment in the comments section below. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.